This is epic. What you are seeing on the screen is actually a massive missile fleet that Iran is preparing. I just got this image from the internet that said that this is the ballistic missile fleet that they are preparing. You can clearly see that they are writing some Arabic there, where they are actually putting a verse from the Quran, and those writings they are about how Israel is perceiving this war, and that is that this war for them is religious war. There is a religious connotation in terms of how they are trying to define this whole encounter that will take place very, very soon. Now, this is one of those missiles. Obviously, they have a lot more, but I'm going to be actually also showing you how Israeli they are preparing for the showdowns. If you take a look at this particular news article from Times of Israel, you can clearly see that these are the fighter jets that are being stationed somewhere in the desert, looks like, for them to be launched very, very soon with the payload of bombs, different kind of bombs that they are planning to drop on Iran. We do not know yet where they will go, or which target they will be using in order to drop these bombs, but we do know that the planning is underway. In fact, Israeli military, they said the reason why it is taking long for Israel to retaliate is because of the planning, and there is now a speculation going on where it basically says that Israel could actually start attacking Iran on the October 7th, which will be in a day or two. Now let's read a little bit here about the preparation for the Israeli military. So the Israeli military is in the midst of planning a response. I want to actually take a look at this one. They are planning a response to Iran's Tuesday night ballistic missile attack, and warned on Saturday that it would be serious and significant. But what we are also finding out from the United States Joe Biden administration is hesitation. If you think about this way, Israel and US, they're not on the same page. See, the dilemma is very, very simple here. What is that dilemma? Now let's talk about the dilemma. Number one is that from US's side, which is that if Israel does target the Iranian oil fields, then of course the oil price will go up. It has already gone up since Joe Biden, he mentioned that he's holding discussions with Israeli counterpart. And on top of this, to make things even worse, Iran can actually strike some of the oil fields in the Middle East. You are hearing it right. They could strike oil fields in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, and other countries, other oil fields, which would render a complete disaster for the oil industry, for the oil price. You can imagine how bad it would be. United States economy depends heavily on this oil. If the war goes on and Israel decides to target this oil field and Iran does something, let's say disproportionate, or if they stop producing oil and if they stop supplying oil to other countries, especially to Europe, then you can imagine the US economy will suffer the most, simply because they are the most powerful nation on earth thanks to their strong economy in the world. In fact, the strongest economy in the world right now. On the other side, the dilemma for Israel is that they want to target with using F-35, the one you're seeing right here, this kind of fighter jets. They want to use them and try to respond Iran in such a way as Times of Israel, they have quoted saying, strong and significant, serious and significant blow. Israel cannot afford not to strike in a serious and significant way simply because of what Iran did the other night, which is 180 ballistic missiles rained down on Israel. If Israel cannot convince US, and looks like they cannot, that they are going to be retaliating Iran the way they want, then it will send a message to Iran that Israel is actually all about talk. And this is what Israel will obviously try their best to avoid, this kind of embarrassment. So on one hand, you have US not giving permission to Israel, and they will try all their best to stop Israel becoming the lunatic they are in the case with Iran. Obviously, they did not want this kind of restrictions for Israel when it came to Gaza. Unfortunately, US, they found Gaza to be a place where Israel could do anything. They could pulverize it, which they did. They could just decimate the entire city of Gaza. They did. Why? Because US did not have any financial or economic interest in Gaza. Today, unfortunately, the life of people is cheaper than oil and gas. This is where we are right now, and we are called civilized nation. We're called the civilized nation. The Western countries, they boast about this, right? Oh, we're the most civilized, to have freedom of speech, human right, all that. But the only reason Joe Biden is objecting to Israel's strike on Iran is because of his country's economy, which will be in ruin, and it has the potential to damage US's economy for good. And the reason he has given the permission to Israel to strike in Gaza is because his economy will not be in trouble. US's economy will not be in trouble. Let 2 million people die. Who cares? This is pretty much what the message was about. Right now, again, so the dilemma and the situation is becoming so intense that Israel is finding it very, very hard right now to map out exactly where they will be striking. We know, and I have discussed this before, Israel this time cannot strike Iran without US's support, 100% support, not just 90% or even 95%. They need 100% support because of this F-35 fighter jets that you're seeing right now on the screen. They need refueling, they need reloading, they need a lot of services. They need to use Saudi Arabia's airspace, Jordanian airspace, and for all of this to happen, U.S. Must help Israel. And this is where things are getting pretty confusing for the state of the Zionists. Now, Israel Defense Forces, they have said that Iran's attack of some 200 ballistic missiles on the country would have quote-unquote consequences. The attack caused in Israel, including in the Israeli air bases, though the military has said no aircraft or critical infrastructure were hit, and the Israeli Air Force was operating at full capacity, which I find to be not so believable, because think about this. They are saying we're going to cause significant and serious damage. We're going to go to Iran and teach them a lesson. On the other hand, they are also saying, oh, nothing happened. The airbase, they're running in full capacity. F-35 is running in full capacity. We have mentioned 20 of these F-35s. Again, you're seeing on the screen, got hit. They were damaged or destroyed. And on the other hand, they have this other rhetoric where they said, oh, you know what, no infrastructure was damaged, but nevertheless, we're going to teach them a good lesson. So which one is true, Israel? Which one is true, IDF? Why don't you just acknowledge that, the strike hit air bases and we lost F-35s? Why don't you just acknowledge so that people will make sense of the thing that you will be doing? But of course, this is how the Zionists they are. They just do whatever comes to their mind and believes that everyone will just buy it. If nobody's buying it, they don't care. This is why they said we need to completely get out of UN and never be part of it. Why? Because They don't care about UN as long as US and UK, they are unconditionally supporting the state of Israel and providing them with this kind of fighter jets, the one you're seeing right now, F-35. They are going to be okay. The overall message and the vibe, guys, is that there is going to be some conflict that we have not seen in our time, in recent time. The military on Saturday said that the response to the Iranian missiles attack would be serious and significant, and that it was devoting much of its time to planning it. So they are still chalking it out, thinking or planning where they will strike. On Wednesday, IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi said that Israel would respond to the missile attack, vowing that the military could, quote unquote, reach and strike any point in the Middle East. What do you mean by any point in the Middle East? Do you mean Saudi Arabia next, or Egypt, or Jordan next? Oh my God, these lunatics are absolutely, the rhetoric is scary. Everything they're doing is scary. We do not know where it is going to end. They're also messing up with Russia. They're messing up with a lot of countries, and they're making a lot of countries very, very unhappy in the process. But do they care? No, because for them, World War III would mean nothing. The entire world can be compensated, except Israel, for the Israel's right to defend itself. So that's pretty much is the message that they have sent in the past, and unfortunately the stupid, silly Biden administration, the people in the states, the politician in the Congress, they are buying this rhetoric from Israel. But again, these are the massive fleet of missiles, ballistic missiles, ready to be launched. Iran last time did not target the vital supply sources or air bases the way some people expected, rightly so, because Iran did not want to escalate this to the point where Israel will go on an all-out war with US. And right now US can excuse itself, saying that Iran did not really hurt you where it really would hurt. So yeah, it's not a big deal, Israel, just calm down. We also have an economy to support and to sustain. We will see some very, very interesting development, that's for sure, in the coming hours, how Israel will plan for it. And I will keep you giving those updates as soon as I have them. Thank you for your support and your time.